We're in the town of La Maddalena, located, as the name suggests, in the Maddalena archipelago in Sardinia. We came to check out the town, provision, and fill up with fuel before picking my brother Dan up, who was coming to visit. We still have our other friends Seb and Funny here with us too, so we've got a full boat. La Maddalena was quite a pretty town, but it was also really busy, so we made a quick visit, looking forward to being on anchor again. Having an extreme sail across to the Lavezzu Islands. We were planning on heading straight to the Lavezzu Islands, but as the wind was on the nose, we decided to anchor in the Maddalena Islands again that evening and make our way over to Lavezzu the day after when the wind was more favourable. We had a really fun sail that day anyway. Coffee's falling everywhere. And it's just dripped down into there. Water comes through here, a wave crashes here, comes through here, and means that none of us can sit here. It's just sopping wet. Once we reached the anchorage, Lars gave a sailing 101 lesson to our friends Seb and Funny, who'd never sailed before and were keen to learn more. They've since signed up for their day skipper qualification, so great success.
The other one's the main sheets. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
So we're going along, and it starts getting too windy, and it's like heeling over like crazy. Is this normal, Lars? Where it's kind of normal, but we should probably reef. At which point I probably say something like, really? No, we're good. And Alex says, no, if you said that, you should. All right, you know what? You're right, Alex. And then we go about the whole dance of reefing. So, what do you do? So, it's midnight, and everybody wants to go to bed, including me. It's been a really long day, sailing and all kinds of stuff. But part of what happened today was that the dinghy flipped over. We had it like tied down the side, and there was a bit of wind, a bit of wave, and it flipped with the outboard on it. And so it's dunked. It was underwater for like, what, 30 seconds? A minute?
Yeah, at least, right?
A minute, right, at least. And so now we are desperately trying to save it. I don't know how desperate we need to be, but we've rinsed it with water, and we're going to replace the spark plug, which luckily we have 5 spares of.
Finally came in handy.
Yeah, seriously, already came in handy. I'm just going to rinse it with fresh water and spray it with WD-40 and then try to start it tomorrow.
We didn't manage to film the dinghy flipping. As you can imagine, that was the last thing we were thinking about at the time. But basically we got unlucky whilst waiting for the fuel dock in La Maddalena to free up, and somehow with the combo of the wind and the waves, it managed to flip with the outboard on.
Through a few times. Maybe you'll see water come out the back of the...
Well, that's what I was wondering.
So I hope there's like nobody out there who really knows what to do in this situation, who's looking at this and saying, oh my gosh,
What is he doing?
what is that WD-40? No!
No!
All I've done is rinsed it, and I'm spraying, covering it in WD-40 basically. Nothing covered in WD-40 can corrode, surely. It's just like physics.
Good morning, Lars.
Good morning. So we've taken apart the carb, taken the spark plug out again, rinsed it all through, and now really hoping that this is going to start. It's not going to start on the first try, so don't even expect it. But...
Oh!
I think that was just all the WD-40 and stuff in the system. It sounds healthier.
Yeah.
There's still water in there. I mean, we could empty the fuel tank. So, we found some water in the fuel tank, cleared that out. So now, hopefully, here goes nothing. Okay, back in business. Back in business. That's right.
Yes!
It's just so important to have a working dinghy. I mean, otherwise you're just stuck. I mean, you're not going to row, you're not going to do anything, you can't go get your supplies, you can't go ashore, you can't take your bins in. I mean, you can. People have rowing, but you don't. As soon as there's wind, you're stuck. So good news.
We sailed back over to Corsica to visit the island of Lavezzu, which is part of the Lavezzi archipelago just south of Bonifacio. Again, we had another sweet sail over there. If you ever get the chance to sail around this area between Corsica and Sardinia, I highly recommend it. There's always some great wind and amazing anchorages to visit.
Alex, what is going on down here?
We're just making some lunch.
Smells. It's too bad the smells don't really translate to video.
Lars and I said that before as well. Like,
You just smell scope.
yeah.
It
So
smells
we've got
great in
hummus
here.
station here.
Smell
Yeah.
that's it, yeah.
Greek salad station here, plus focaccia coming here.
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah, some seriously good stuff.
It's going to be a great lunch.
I mean, in national park's fine, but yeah, no, you're such
What a feast!
So we just dinghied in from the boat, just onto that little pontoon there. And for some reason, there's a drawbridge, which you can't go across. So we just put the dinghy on the land instead, and hopefully we won't get told off. But this is France. You get told off for everything in France. We've just come onto Lavezzi Island, which is back in France, before heading down to the national park in northwest Sardinia. And there's nobody lives on here, I don't think, but there's kind of a weird, creepy story that apparently back in the late 1800s there was a ship bringing reinforcements to the Crimean War that ran aground just off the island, and all 400 and something crew died, drowned. And apparently, so grim. You read this in the pilot book, I feel like it should be rated R or something. But they couldn't identify anybody basically, because every single person was smashed up against the rocks, except for the captain, weirdly. And so we're heading to the cemetery that commemorates all the anonymous crew, I guess. The only person who knew about it for a long time was a leper living on the island. I feel like it's made extra sad by how poorly cared for this place is. The one body they could identify, Captain Joseph Carrère. I could tell you wanted to get off the boat there.
Yeah, like calling all of you several times.
Come get me! Got back to the boat with the others, and Alex here was going absolutely insane, cabin fever, so I had to take her for a walk. Alright, so we're back on the
I've just
island.
been dying to go to the island, and like when we first came down after Corsica, we didn't stop here, so then I was like, oh well, my chance is gone. And then we said we were going today, and I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm not actually going to be able to walk on shore, so I'm really happy. It's been a really fast stop on shore, but it's been worth it.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, it's probably the nicest island in this little archipelago that we've seen so far. This is insane.
Oh no. Do you think it'll work? Has that been happening recently?
Yeah.
The next morning, the wind had died down and the water was crystal clear. We had the whole anchorage to ourselves, so we made the most of it and went for a really long swim before heading off to the next place. Going for morning swims is one of my favourite things to do. It's so easy to get completely immersed in this underwater world. Time can really fly by as you follow the fish around, realising they have an entire life and community of their own down there. Getting close to these rocks,
Yeah,
huh?
we're very close. I'm gonna start the engine and we're
Go on
gonna
then.
get out of here.
Okay, cool. Crew's just getting ship shape.
Ship and shop. It's gonna go actually on this track here that's on the cap rail. So we'll go to here. Rigging the spinnaker.
That day we had a longer sail down the northwestern coast of Sardinia. We were in a bit of a hurry to get over there as our friends had a flight out from the airport over there. It's always really difficult to plan the logistics of a visit. Do your friends fly in and out of the same place? Or do you commit to having to sail to the next airport on our route? This time we committed, so it was up early and sails up for a 2-day trip to the next airport. Luckily the wind gods were kind to us.
Do you think Lars is going to stand up there for the rest of the day?
Trying to get onto some work on the way, it's really difficult.
Alright, Lars, do you want to talk us through what has happened?
Well, another day, another fire to fight. So we had the water maker going and it was making a weird noise. We just arrived, water maker's still going, it starts making a weird noise, we go over and I could tell that the panel is wet, which is not normal. And so open it all up and there's a leak. And it's a leak in a part of the water maker that we didn't install that's meant to be pre-assembled by professionals. But gave them a call, they picked it up straight away. I told them what was up. And he said, take it apart, clean it up, put some Loctite on it, put it back together again, and it should all be good. So fingers crossed. The thing is, it's the high pressure side of the system, so it's like under a huge amount of pressure. Yeah, it looks like it's been leaking for a little while actually. Loaded up with Loctite. So this is my favorite Loctite product of all time. Loctite 577. Tell your kids. If you're ever doing a job that requires you to wrap lots of Teflon around some piping,
Yeah.
scrap that. Get this. It's great. It's a thread sealant. It's a plumbing thread sealant. Looks pretty clean. Let's Loctite it up. Moment of truth.
Yeah?
Did the water maker repair work? If it didn't,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna panic. Then I try again and we tighten it more. I just got nervous about over tightening it. God, I'm nervous. I see a drip. So maybe I was a little bit too
tentative?
Too tentative. I just needed to go for it and tighten it. But let's try. Try again.
Alright. Round 2 then.
Lars tightened it up again, and thankfully this time it worked, and we haven't had any problems since. We went out to celebrate with pizza that evening in the town of Isola Rossa. Morning. It's like just past 7, and we left this morning to get to Asinara or Stintino, which is like on the western part of Sardinia. So we're just heading there now. We've had another leakage of the water situation. I feel like it's just like non-stop. Okay, Lars.
Let me show you what happened. I mean, I came down to check on the water maker to see if it was working. It's making a weird noise, and I still don't really know why. But no, notice there's a bunch of water everywhere.
Oh, I noticed that the other day too. Probably should have told you.
You should have told me.
I forgot.
Yeah, if you see water inside the boat, definitely tell me. But basically, look at this.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's basically just a really bad Jubilee clip. And it broke off here. And what that meant is that the hose for the hot water in the bathroom just detached. because it's a pressurized system, all the water from the tanks just pumped out.
So we have no water. That's why we had no water.
Well, that's why we have no water now. We had water before. Now we have no water.
So what do we need to do?
Pay more money for our Jubilee clips, first of all. Replace that, close it back up, and just run the water maker and fill up the tanks. Buy expensive Jubilee clips. They're worth the money. Here, look at this place.
We're sailing in, and it's very shallow. It's like 3 meters deep.
Running through the halls of the riding school. Never thought our legs that fast.
What you reading?
Chile, Swell. It's really good. Really recommend it. It's a story of Captain Liz Clark and her adventures in the Pacific. And it's just really nice to read somebody else's account of sailing because you just realize how much stuff goes wrong for everybody all the time. Mm-hmm. And how difficult it is, and kind of relativizes some of the problems that you have on board.
Enjoy.
Thanks.
I've already read it and it's also awesome. We finally made it to the town of Stintino and decided to spend the night in the marina as our guests had to catch a bus early the following morning. We realised that this was the first marina we'd stayed in since leaving Antibes 3 months earlier. The timing was great as well, as it meant we could fill up with water after having lost it all. Stintino is a quaint little fishing village where deep inlets reach into the town, giving the place a Venetian feel. We had our final dinner in the port after having spent an amazing week all together. Footsteps in your world open more doors than I could feel. Thanks for watching this video and see you next time. Next time we say goodbye to our friends and it's just the 2 of us again. I get a haircut and we sail over to Azinada Island, which is home to loads of donkeys. We visit the high security prison and explore the national park, hiking to secluded beaches and enjoying the remoteness and uniqueness of this island.